Hey, what's up, everyone? Carl Williams here with Williams' Mind and Muscle Mechanics. Hope everybody's having a good day today. Today I want to take a couple minutes to sort of share my thoughts on AI and sort of the influence it's been having on the fitness game, Because as a personal trainer myself, it's a lot of people ask, aren't you worried that, AI is going to sort of take over your job, this and that, I'd be lying if I didn't say, it is sort of concerning to think about. But at the end of the day, I think the overall, the short answer to it is no. I don't think it's going to ever actually fully take over personal training. But, basically just wanted to share a few thoughts on it. Because basically, I find some of the things you can do with it to be actually quite convenient and pretty sweet, honestly. Might be an unpopular opinion amongst personal trainers because, I feel like there's probably a few that are definitely worried that, AI is eventually going to take over. And like I said, I was sort of one of them at first, but I was sort of come to realize I think that all AI is going to do is it's going to make the job easier and basically take some of the boring, annoying stuff. I don't want to call it annoying, I guess, because it is something we're passionate about. But there are parts of the job that I will say that they're sort of it's sort of monotonous. There's a lot of the math and the calculating and this and that. The stuff that AI can actually do now. It's gonna sort of take some of that that long paperwork away and get to it's going to allow personal trainers to basically spend more time in the gym with the clients and focus on things like form and basically like showing different exercises, this and that, and basically more hands-on time with your coach, which to me is way more valuable than me handing you a sheet of paper with a bunch of workouts on it. Because let you in on a little secret, when I write a program for somebody, I'm more or less doing the same thing that this AI program is doing. I'm basically I have a database of workouts in my head, right? That I'm going through, and I'm basically saying, okay, I'm going to pick this one, and I'm going to put it together based on the best of my knowledge. And usually, I'm going to put together a pretty sound program for somebody. It's going to get you results, But I've been noticing that these AI programs are pretty much able to spit out almost the exact same thing that I'm gonna come up with, the right along those lines. And then what I can do from there is you can take that AI program, you can say, okay, give me a diet plan, okay? I want 200 grams of protein a day. Give me a diet plan that gives me 200 grams of protein a day and 2,500 calories, okay? And it'll spit you out a diet plan that fits those exact needs. And then as a coach, what I can do is I can look at it and say, well, you know what? As far as my personal preferences, give me something similar, but change this, and this, right? And it's going to spit something else out, almost the same, but it's going to change those little specific things based on my personal needs. So what that can translate directly over to me helping a client, right? Because I can say okay, so what kind of stuff do you like to eat, this and that, yada yada. We can sort of I can get to know you and learn your personal preferences and this and that, and then together we can basically get this AI program, this app to spit out 5 or 6 different nutrition plans, and then basically I can give you my advice on what I think you should maybe go with something like this, and and then I can use my own knowledge to sort of tweak it based on things that you've told me about yourself, right? So that's where the personal trainer thing comes. It's the personal part that comes into play there, right? Because basically a personal trainer is somebody who's going to get to know you on a personal level. And it's going to hold you accountable, and it's going to be there with you every step of the way, right? And robots are never going to be able to replace that. They can sort of simulate that, but nothing's ever going to be able to replace the real thing of it's like even just having a workout partner, a friend that you go to the gym with is for that's gold. That's worth its weight in gold, and it's a big motivational factor, right? So yeah, and as a personal trainer, I can't sit here and try to ignore the elephant in the room where it's I'm not going to charge. It's basically going to become harder and harder to try to charge people for something that they can essentially get for free. And hopefully that saying that out on the internet doesn't get me in trouble. because the fact of the matter is, it's not something we're going to be able to ignore, right? So it's a thing now, so might as well accept it. And basically I think it's basically just going to help make our job easier, and like I said, it's going to allow us to spend more time in the gym with you, instead of your hard-earned money isn't just going to us basically sitting there and writing a list of workout, because like I said, like the secret's out there. Like, if you ask me to build you a workout plan, I'm going to basically go through my own database in my head and pick out exercises, this and that, and then sub them, this. And so basically, I'm doing the same thing that this AI app is doing. Except it's searching the entire internet, and basically, it's got access to a way bigger database, and it can do it way quicker, right? So it's a big time saver. It's actually kind of a game changer. I actually kind of like it. Like I said, that might be an unpopular opinion, but I say go ahead and use it, get it to, spit out diet plans, get it to spit out nutrition plans, this and that. But then, like I said, pay, go see a personal trainer. It doesn't hurt to pay a personal trainer to sit there and spend some time with you and get to know you, and give their own personal sort of guidance on top of that, because it's that one-on-one factor, that time in the gym, that at the end of the day, that's where your hard-earned dollar is going, right? So I feel like you'd much rather pay somebody to be there with you in the gym coaching you than for paperwork, right? So yeah. Anyways, that's the end of my rant for the day. And if you like my videos, like and subscribe, and keep kicking ass, everyone. Have a good day.